This was a mysterious creature living beneath the sea. Its appearance resembled a hybrid of an octopus and a catfish. Having lived in the deep sea for so long, its eyes had completely degenerated, but it could still perceive light through unknown means and was drawn to it. The undeveloped claws on its tentacles indicated that this creature was still in its juvenile stage. Before the group could study this new species in more detail, the entire cargo lift system suddenly malfunctioned. It seemed something terrifying was crashing into the platform, accompanied by the growls of a wild beast. Soon the group's fear of the creature was overwhelmed by an even greater fear. The entire drilling platform finally began to explode from the pressure. The shockwaves caused the lift to plummet to the ocean floor. The group hurriedly donned their helmets and opened the hatch to escape. To avoid being crushed into meat paste by the pressure at the seabed, the 5 of them fled across the ocean floor on foot, while dodging falling debris from the collapsing buildings. They barely managed to escape to the nearest midway station, avoiding being crushed to death. But this place was not a safe haven either. Outside there was still the sound of dull impacts. It was unclear whether it was debris falling, or the creature's collision. For the next stretch of the journey they didn't need to leave, because each midway station had drilling passages, and convenient trams to the next station. The group finally got a brief moment of respite, but the relief was short-lived. Before they reached the next station they were forced to disembark. The passage ahead was completely submerged in seawater due to a collapse. What terrified them even more wasn't just that, but the sounds of something crashing above them. It seemed the terrifying creature had followed them. They dared not waste any time, and quickly waded through the water. The captain at the front stopped suddenly, because the passage had become too narrow after the compression. They didn't have time to search for another exit, so they decided that the smallest member, Anna, would go ahead to scout. For safety the group tied a safety rope around Anna before she set off. Fortunately everything went smoothly. The collapsed passage was only a short section. Once they confirmed it was safe, Anna immediately signaled her teammates, and they began to move forward one by one. But when the last person was about to set off they suddenly felt something terrifying behind them. The others, having already made it through, noticed he hadn't come yet, and realized something was wrong. They quickly pulled the safety rope, but were met with a powerful force pulling from the other side. With their relentless effort the last person finally emerged. But before they could breathe a sigh of relief, the terrifying force appeared again, and instantly dragged him back into the water. The group pulled with all their strength, but could only watch in horror as their teammate was torn in half. Not daring to stay a moment longer they quickly fled the hellish scene. They finally reached the next midway station, but their previous ordeal had drained them completely. After a brief rest they had no choice but to set off again, because this place was still not a safe haven.